in this session is understanding the components and functionality of Remix IDE. So that is already discussed by Dr. Amay sir, and we'll be defining a problem solvable with the application of a Solidity smart contract. So we'll be developing a contract and we'll be defining a problem, and for that problem we will be solving that problem using a Solidity smart contract. For solving that problem, there will be a contract, so we have to design that contract. So we'll perceive the basic building blocks, what we will be using in that smart contract to solve the problem. Then we'll be designing, like first we'll identify what all those things, what all the components which we'll be using. Then we'll be designing the contract, like we'll be adding the functionalities, and then we'll deploy that smart contract in the Remix environment. So these are the things which we are going to cover today. So as already discussed in the earlier session, that what is Remix IDE. So I don't think so that it is needed to be tell you more about this, and we'll directly go to whatever what is the Remix environment later on. So the contract what we are going to do build up today is think about a scenario where there is a forum of professionals working together on a project. So there is a project in which a lot of manpower is needed, but to handle those and the manpower, there should be a leader, project lead. So you have also heard about the team lead. So take that entity as a project leader. So there is a project leader in this forum, and we have to elect like suppose all the team members are at the same level. So they want a team lead, but there should be transparent system that the elected member should not. There is no biasing for election of that member. So what we are going to do, we have to create a smart contract that will help in a voting kind of mechanism where the people in the team will vote for a particular team member who, and there can be more than one team member who can who can be the like the leader of that project. So we have to identify only one. So they can be the candidate, and the winning candidate will be the leader. So there are team members, there are candidates, and there will be a team leader who will be the winner. For all these, to manage all these things, we'll be having a moderator also. So here you can see that there is a moderator, a manager-like entity who will manage the election process. So the moderator can be a person who is not biased to anything, and he will he will handle this election process. Okay. The second one is the candidate. So who wants to be the project leader? So there can be more than one candidate in this scenario, and there are voters. So those people who don't want to be the candidate can be voter also. So they will go give vote to a project leader. So first, what we have to do to solve this problem using a smart contract. Okay. So we have to first identify the moderator. Moderator, as I already discussed earlier, so he can be the owner of the smart contract. So the person who will be deploying this smart contract. Okay. So there is the moderator. Moderator has many rights. They can do like he has many things like the other people cannot have. Like moderator adds candidates to the smart contract. Okay, then he will register the voters. So voter registration give in voter registration, moderator will give right to the people who can vote. Like moderator will give a person a right to vote, or he can he can take that back. So in this way the process can be done. People who have rights to vote can now participate in the voting. Okay. So there should be a policy like if a person has already voted, so he should not be allowed to vote once again. So once suppose I am the person who is the voter, and if I voted to somebody, I should not be allowed to vote again. So there should be a policy that should be there, and after that, if all the process is done, then moderator will identify the winner. So, what are the components of this Solidity which that we are going to develop or will be using? So, first is that moderator will be the owner of the smart contract. So, for that, we'll be using a constructor in which we'll add a person who is the owner of that smart contract as moderator. Now, if a moderator is, if a contract is deployed, then we have already identified the moderator. Then that moderator can add candidates to the contract. Then they will register the voters. They will register the candidates by using some functions. There should be, as I've already told you, that there should be a policy. So for making a policy or for restriction, like only authorized persons can do this thing. So we can use modifiers for that, and there will be a function for declaration of a winner in that contract. So let's start coding this smart contract. So I'll request you all to come to the Remix environment to open this Remix ID, and please let me know. Please let me know in the chat section. So first, what I will do, I have opened this Remix ID and then press on this link, new file. So I'm for Remix, we can also open it. So, Remix ID, type Remix ID, open this link. Yeah, so this is Remix ID, and you can have a that there is a new file option. So you can press on this new file. Please make it as voting. As I've already made this thing, so I am typing voting1.sol. So this is the new file. This is the new file that I have opened. So this is the empty file. Now what I'll do, I'll create a contract. So before creation of contract, you have to add the Pragma directive, that is what version of Solidity we are using right now. So I'm writing Pragma Solidity and what version. So I'll take as 0.50. So greater than equal to 0.5.0. So this is the Solidity version which we are going to use in this contract. Now, the first thing that we have already discussed is we have to create a voting smart contract. So we'll type contract keyword, contract. So whatever we will be doing in the Solidity, we'll be doing all the operations inside the contract. So contract, I'll type contract. Then we have to name the contract. So what is the name of this contract? So I've already told you voting contract we are making. So contract voting. This. So this is the empty contract. Okay. So I think most of you have are with me right now. Okay. So I'll tell you once again how we are doing this. First, open a new tab in your browser. Now I'm going to google.com. Type Remix, or directly you can type remix.ethereum.org, or you can Google it. So Remix IDE. You can type Remix IDE. So in Remix IDE, you have to open with this http://remix.ethereum.org, and then press this link on you'll get a page that has Remix IDE. Now what you have to do, you have to click on this drop down. Now you'll be able to see, you should be in the home tab. So there are two kinds of tabs right now in my screen. The Chrome tabs, these, and this Remix tab. So I'm talking about Remix tab, okay? So in this Remix tab, this is the home screen, and in this home tab, you have to press on new file. So whenever you will click on new file, at the left you will find there is one option where you can add text. So you have to name the file. Like suppose I want to make a file like abc.sol. So you just have to type abc over here, abc. So this is the file. When you will press enter, the file will get created, and you have this file in your screen. So right now, because I have to make voting.sol, so I have created this file. So there are three tabs: home, abc.sol, and voting.sol. So I just want voting.sol. So I'm here. Okay, so I'll increase the font size also, as well as yeah. So till now, what we have done, we have added a Pragma directive to define the Solidity version we are using right now. Second thing is what we are going to create. So we are going to create a contract named as voting. So this is the name of that contract, keyword for the creation of that contract. Okay. Now there are three kinds of entities as I have already discussed you. First one is the moderator. So moderator will be the person with some specific address. Address I meant to say if you will go to this thing where deployment is done, so you can find the addresses, these addresses. So any one of these address will be the moderator of that contract. So for defining the moderator, we have to take address. So here address will be given. This address will be given to the moderator who is defined over here. So first we will define the moderator. So for defining the moderator, since we are giving the address, we have to type address keyword. So address, then this address is public or private, so we have to make it public. So because when we are going to deploy this contract, that address has to be taken by this Remix environment outside the contract. So we have to make it public. And then we'll name it as moderator. So moderator is the person who is having some address. Okay. Now, since if there is one candidate, so candidate has can have two things: the name of the candidate as well as how much votes he have got, that candidate has got. So we have to define two things for the single person. For every person, for every candidate, there will be two things. One is the name of that candidate. The other thing will be the vote, how much votes he have got. Okay. So for defining these two things, what we have to do, we have to create a structure or user defined data type. So we are going to create structure, struct. So we have to type struct candidate, and this is the body of that structure. Okay. So first thing is that our candidate has some name. So for defining the name, we have to type string, because name, as you already know, there are names are actually strings. What is a string? More than one character is a string. So if my name is Samir, so this is a string. There are a group of characters. Okay. So I have to define string, and this is the data type and the variable that stores the name. So I will define it as name. So this name variable, this is the variable which will store a name. Okay, and this variable, since it stores name, it should be of string type. Okay, Same thing, every candidate has name and number of votes he have got. Like if I am the candidate, I'm fighting for this thing. So how much votes I have got, and according to that only I'll be elected as winner, or if I have no more than I have not more votes as compared to the other person, I will not be elected. So the vote count should be there with every candidate. So I'll take u int unsigned integer u int and the vote count. So we'll name it as vote count. Vote count. So for every candidate, suppose there are 3 candidates. So X, Y, and Z. So X candidate will have some. Suppose X candidate has name X and vote count is initially 0. Okay. Y is the another candidate having name Y and vote count 0, and Z is the third candidate who is having vote count 0. Initially, all of them will be having a name, but there will be no vote count. Okay, that will be 0. And upon on performing the election process, so the people who will be voting, who will be the voters, will be giving vote to these candidates, and the vote count will get increased. Okay, so we have defined a structure. So right now, what we have done, we have defined the Pragma directive, that what version of Solidity we are using. We have defined a contract. Right now, a body of this contract. So it starts from here and ends till here. So when you will press on this closing brace, you'll find that what is the pair of that brace. So it starts from here up to here. Inside this, we have already defined moderator, and we have defined candidate. Okay, so this is not a variable right now. It is just a data type that we have defined. Now we'll come upon the third type of person, that will be the voter. Okay, so what we will do, we'll create voter. So again, we'll type struct, then voter. Okay. So likewise, you can think upon that what are the things that should be added to the voter. So we need voters, and we have to, as I have already discussed in the presentation, that there should be a policy whether that person can vote or he cannot vote. If he has voted, then can he vote again or not? So for defining these policies, we have taken some variables. So we'll start with a Boolean variable, bool. Boolean means yes or no, true or false. So first thing is that that voter has, if he has voted, so if voted, it means that if this variable is true, then the person has voted. If voted variable, if it is false, then person has not voted. First thing. Now, second thing is, if he is voter or not. So I should define it first. So if voter or not. So if voter. So if he has been identified as voter by the moderator. So moderator has given rights to him to vote or not. So if voter. So you can type if voter. If voter. So, and the third thing is, I just wanted to know that whom he has voted. So string. Yeah, we can have name of that candidate. So string and to whom he has voted. So we'll type voted to. Okay. So these 3 things we have defined. These 3 entities: moderator, we have defined; candidate, we have defined; and voters, we have defined. Okay. So moderator is the candidate and voter. Okay. Now since there can be more than one candidates, so I think most of you know what is an array. So we'll create an array of these candidates. Okay. So first we will do Before that, we'll forget about defining the constructor first. So we'll define a constructor. So I'll tell you what is constructor. So we'll first define the constructor. Type constructor. It is something like function. So we have to add these two things. So we have to add this parenthesis, and we have to make it public, as I have already told you earlier. So we have to make it public. So what is constructor? Whenever this contract is deployed, when we will deploy this contract, the very first function that will be called is the constructor. It has the highest priority. That is called upon the deployment of this contract. So when we will deploy this voting contract, this constructor will be called. And whatever operations we will define inside this constructor, whatever operations, they will be done first. Okay, so compiler will run these operations first. Okay, so what is the very first operation in contract is identification of moderator. Okay, so since we have defined this variable earlier, we have to initialize this. So moderator equal to, so we are now initializing this moderator. Okay, equal to message msg, type msg.sender. What is this? Whomsoever will deploy this contract, the account among these accounts, who will be the deployer, who will be deploying this contract, has some address. That address is message.sender. Whomsoever will be deploying. Suppose it is deploying, then this will be the address that will be given to the moderator. If this account is deploying, that will be the moderator. Okay. So when we will be deploying this smart contract, I'll tell you that how moderator is getting identified. Okay. Now, one more thing is that upon, okay, I'll tell you later. So this is this okay for all of you? Are you able to understand this thing? Okay. Okay. So again, we'll come back to this contract. This is the Solidity smart contract. So we are defining this thing, a contract that is a voting contract. It starts from here and it ends here. So there is a closing brace. Okay. Now we have to define the entities. Moderator is some person who is taking care of the election process. Okay. So the moderator is the person who is taking care of the election process. A candidate who is standing, like who will get the votes. So suppose you will think about the political parties. So these political parties are candidates. Okay. The election commission is the moderator, and voters, you are the voter. So these three things we have defined. A candidate has some name and how much votes he have got. A voter has three things. Two of them are Boolean values. Boolean values means if they are true or false. So bool, if this voter has voted, then he should not be allowed to vote once again. So from this variable we will be using. Okay, for comment you can add this thing. So forward to forward slash you can have for comments. Boolean if voter means if he or she has been identified by the moderator as a voter, then only this will be set. Set and reset means it will be set means it is true. Set is true. Reset is false. So initially all these values, Boolean values, are false. Okay. And initially because a voter has voted to someone, like from these candidates, so it will come upon this thing voted to whom he has voted. So voted to will take the name of the candidate whom this voter has voted. Okay. So think upon first letter is capital. No, just it is just a convention that we are following. So so that we will not get confused. Like a structure, we are defining a structure. So we are taking candidate as capital C and voter with capital P. Okay. Now, now the next thing is we have to define an array. So first we have to define an array. So like in C language, we have to define an array like this: int a and this. So this is an array. Now this is solidity. So what we will do in place of, suppose I want to create an array of candidates. So what I will do, candidate is a data type. So I type candidate. Then I'll define this array likewise. Like we don't have to name here. We'll name it later on. So we are defining a candidate array of candidates. Just think upon array of candidates. Now, what you have to type over here is what kind of data structure is this? Like, is it public or is it private? So I'll make everything public right now. So public, and then array name. So array name over here, array name. So I'm now defining this array as candidates, array of candidates. Okay, so this is candidates. So this is an array which we have created. There are more than one candidate in this array. Now I have to add candidates. So who will add the candidates? All this process will be taken care by moderator. Okay, so who will add these candidates? Moderator will add these candidates. So we'll define a function. Yeah, so moderator is the election commission. Good. So function, we have to type function. Whenever you are going to create a function, you have to type this keyword. Whenever you have to create the constructor, you have to type constructor, then struct, then address, then struct, all these things. So candidate is the data type and candidates is the array. Okay. So function add candidate. Okay. So I am going to add candidate using a function. So I will type function, then name of this function. This is the name of that function, add candidate, and then whatever arguments are there in this. So for adding a candidate, what we need is the name. Okay. So we'll type string name. So here we will take convention like this, underscore name. Okay. So underscore name or candidate C name, we can have C name. Okay. Now, one more thing is that I'll tell you later. Okay. I'll tell you later. So this is the function. Now this is the body of this function. So what we have to do? We have to, suppose there is a candidate. So we have to add that candidate to this array. Okay, sorry. This array, candidates array. So candidates is the array. Okay. And C name is the candidate name. Okay. So I'll tell you when we will create this function, you will come to know about. So candidates is the array, and in this array we are pushing some values. So we have to type dot push method. So candidates dot push. This is the data type. This is the name of that array. So where we have to add in this array. Okay. So candidates dot push, and then what we are pushing? This array, this candidates array is made up of what kind of data types? Is with candidate. Okay. So we have to add a candidate. So we will type candidate. Okay. We have to add a candidate with some name. So name, and this name is actually this name. Okay. For that candidate, whatever candidate we are pushing right now will be having some name, and that name this name will be given by this variable CNAME. So I am typing CNAME. Okay. And initially, every candidate has vote count 0. Okay. So this vote count should be 0 initially when we are adding these candidates. Okay. Suppose the political parties are filing, like they are going to fight for the election. So what they have to do, they have to initially register in the election commission. Okay, suppose. So initially, election commission, suppose they are making some software. So initially they will give vote count as, they will initialize every party with vote count 0. So we will initialize it as 0, vote count as 0. So here you can see that one candidate has been added to this array using push operation. This candidate has been added to this array using push operation with some name. That name is coming from here and vote count 0. This is the thing. Just this thing we have to do. Now, I've discussed earlier that who can add the candidate. So can anybody tell me in the chat that who can add the candidate? Who has the rights to add the candidate? So there are three. Yeah, very nice. Moderator has the rights. So we have to apply some condition on this function, that this function, we have to tell this remix that this function should not be called by other people except the moderator. So we have to add this thing. How we can do this? By creation of modifier. So now we are creating a modifier. A modifier adds certain conditions, okay, in the function. So modifier, this is the keyword. For function, we are using keyword as function. So for modifier, we are using keyword as modifier. For constructor, we are using keyword as constructor. So modifier. Now, what modifier, name of that modifier? So only, we are defining it as only modifier can do this thing. Only moderator. Only moderator can do this thing. What? We are defining inside this modifier. So whenever this modifier is added to a function, then it should check whether the caller of this function, whomsoever calls this function, should be moderator. So there is moderator, which we have already defined earlier, that is moderator is message.sender. Okay. So we have to add something that is required. So we have to type require. What is required? That the person who will call this function should be. So the person who will call this function is message.sender. Is message.sender. Message.sender is the person who is calling this function. I am calling this function. So I will be the message.sender. The message.sender should be what? Who should be the caller of this function? Who can call this function? Only the owner. Owner is the moderator. So message.sender should be equals to moderator. So we are adding this thing. Suppose if the condition is not met, suppose the caller of this function is not moderator. So what we have to do? We have to give some feedback kind of thing. We have to define the error, that suppose this function is not called because the person who was calling this function is not moderator. So we have to tell that you are not the moderator. So I'll type here the text that only moderator can perform this task. Okay. So the task is what? Adding a candidate. Adding a candidate can only be performed by moderator. Okay, so we have defined this thing and we have to terminate this thing. One more thing is that whenever we are defining modifiers, we have to add this thing underscore and then semicolon. Okay, so this is pre-checked. Like before calling this function, this condition is checked. If it is true, like true when, so it is true when, can anybody tell me when it is true? When it is true, when the caller will be moderator. Exactly. When the caller is moderator. So we will add this modifier over here. So how we can add this modifier? So we have add candidate function. Now we have to make this function, because we will be calling this function outside, so we are making it as add it as public, and then we are adding a modifier only owner. Okay. Now read this function. So this function add candidate is a public function which can only be called by this moderator, only moderator. So this is the condition that should be true. Otherwise, that will be false. No. So Litika, it is not so. Whenever this function whenever there will be a call for this modifier only, then only this modifier is checked. Not always. So it has not to, suppose you have made you have already created a modifier, and if you are not using that modifier will never get checked. So it is only upon the calling, like whenever it is called inside the function. Okay. So this tells that this tells that this is the modifier. It should be returned. Otherwise, there should be should be some difference. Second thing is that this should be like checked first before that function is called. So this is the thing. Yeah. So when function is false, this message will be given by the compiler. Okay, exactly. So I think most of you have understood that what we have done. So again, we have created a contract, voting contract, defined a moderator, then candidate, then voter. We have initialized moderator inside a constructor. Then we have created an array of candidates. So this is the candidates array. And then we have created a function that will be used, that will be called by the moderator to add some candidates. Okay. So yeah. So till now we have done this thing. Now, next thing is that I'll tell you after the calling, after creation of some more components of this contract, I will again explain you. So add candidate we have done. Now we make a function where we will be giving right to vote. So moderator will be giving some voters the rights to vote. Okay. So we will be using mapping. So mapping. What is mapping? I'll tell you. So there is some address and there is some vote. Okay. And this name, the mapping should be public. So we are making it as public, and we'll name it as voters. Voter. Likewise, for candidate it is candidates. So for voter it is voters. What is mapping? So mapping is something where we are taking some address. Since all the addresses in any of the blockchain network are unique, there can never be two persons with same address. Okay. So here address From address, we are identifying a voter. From address, what we are doing? From address, we are identifying a voter. So if I am having some address, I am having a voter. That voter is having these three things. So later on, when I'll use this mapping, you will come to know that what has happened using this mapping. Okay. So I'm now writing this thing. Function give right to vote. So give right to vote. Give right to vote. Now whom I am giving right to vote? So there should be a voter. And voter is accessed by some address. Voter is accessed by some address. So here I am defining some address. Address of some voter. So I am typing here voter underscore, yeah, or I'll type it like this, underscore voter. Okay. So address underscore voter. So there is some address. Think upon an address of some voter. There are some addresses. Suppose this one is voter. So from this address, I can access his information. Like from this address, I can find if he has voted, if he is the voter, or if he has voted, then to whom he has voted. Okay. How we can access this information, I'll tell you. Okay. Again, since give right to vote is the who can do this task? Who will give rights? Can anyone tell me who will give the rights to vote? The person. Exactly, the moderator. So the moderator should be there with this function. So how you will apply some condition? Can anyone tell me that how condition can be applied? The condition, how we have applied the condition in add candidate? Using this modifier. Okay. This modifier. Using this modifier, I am adding that the condition that only moderator can give right to vote to somebody. Okay. So I am again writing public only moderator. So moderator can only call this function. Nobody else can call this function. Otherwise, this function will not get called. Now, so this function, suppose I am moderator, so I am giving right to vote to this address, Suppose I am giving right to vote to this address. So what I will do, I will use this mapping. So what mapping is doing? Mapping is taking this address and giving you these three variables that can be initialized. So I am doing this. So first thing is that if because we are adding a condition that give right to vote. So what information in this structure should be updated? If I am calling this function give right to vote, what information is related to voting rights among these three variables? Among these three variables, who has this information? If voter. Exactly, it is if voter. So we have to make if voter as true. So what I am doing, I am using the mapping voters that will take some address. So that address comes from here underscore voter. Then we have got a voter. That voter will be accessed using this dot operator. So voters, if voted, voters, if voter, voters voted to. These three things can be accessed. So voters dot if voter. I will initialize this flag as equal to true. I have allowed this person, if I am the moderator, I have called this function, I have allowed this particular voter that you can vote. Got this thing? Now, again, this we have done. Now we'll come to another part. Okay. Now we have to define that certain things we have to define for voters a function for voting. Okay. So for voters to vote somebody. So function vote. Function vote. Here you have to be very careful. Okay, so in this function, this is the main part of this contract where we are going for voting. Okay, so I am voting a particular person. Okay, so I know that person is a candidate, and whose information is stored inside this array candidates. Okay. So what we will do? We will, if somebody wants to vote, whom he will vote, he has to identify. So we'll take uint, we'll take the index of that person in that array. So suppose I want to vote for first person or second person or third person. So I'll type uint, and then I'll take a variable C, take it like candidate address. So C add, you can take this thing. So candidate address. Okay. Now public function will be the public function, so public, and then we are defining the body. Now we have to change the values of both the persons. So suppose a voter is voting to somebody, so the information of voter will be changed. Like if I have voted, then if voted will be true, then voted to will be updated, and whom I have voted, this candidate's vote count should be increased. Suppose I am the voter, so I have voted to X party, X political parties. So vote count of that X political party should get increased by 1. And if I am the voter, then if I have already voted, then again I should not be able to vote again. So this thing is very important. So many things have to be updated. So for that, first, what we will do, we will be calling this function that voter should be created first. So we have to add storage variable. I'll tell later. So vote equals to whomsoever is calling this function. So voters message dot sender. Now, from this line, what you are gaining? First thing is that candidate is an array. Candidates is an array. But voters is a mapping. So candidates, because candidates is an array, it will be accessed through index value. Can be accessed through index value 1 2 3 0 1 2 3. But since voters is the mapping, it can be only accessed through address. Okay, so the person who is calling vote function will be message.sender, and what message.sender contains an address. So when we will give this address to this mapping, so yeah, this mapping, get the voter, and that voter will be stored in vote, vote. So that voter's information will be stored in what? Now I have to change something. So what I have to change? What dot if voted. Okay. What dot if voted equals to, since he has voted, so we have to change his status as true. Now what dot voted to, so whom he has voted to, this candidate, but that candidate, this is the index of that candidate. When we'll see that this is the index of that candidate, so using that index we can go to the candidate. Okay, so how we can do that? Candidates is an array that will take this index, and then we'll modify the, like we'll take the name of that candidate, because we have to add voted to, so whom he has voted. So voted to this candidate whose index is this and name is this. So using index we have taken we have reached that position of that array, and from that position we have taken out the name. So vote dot voted to is equal to candidates, this cad dot name. Okay, now I have to see, we have to see always that we have taken the same thing like this, otherwise there will be an error. Now we have to increase the candidates vote count by 1. So candidates add dot vote count. This vote count should be increased by 1. So how we can do that? Plus plus or plus equal to 1. If you want to increase it by 2, then we have to add here 2. Since this is voting, so for every vote we are taking as 1. Okay, so this we have done. Now what is the next part? Now this function can only be called by the voters who has been allowed to vote. Suppose, because if the moderator has not given any right, suppose these 3 accounts have been given right, to vote, and now suppose this person is voting, so he should not be allowed to vote this. So we have to make another modifier. So we can add a modifier only voter. Modifier is only voter can do that. So I am defining this modifier. Now here, what is the first step? When we are creating a modifier, we have to require. So require. Then what we have to do? We have to check whether the message.sender has rights to vote. So message.sender is the address, and every voter is accessed by address. So voters message.sender dot, now we have come to the voter, some particular voter with some address, if he has been allowed to vote. So if voter we have to check. So if voter, where were we? Yeah, dot if voter. If he is the voter, then it should be true. The condition should be true. Otherwise, if he is not the voter, we have to tell that only voters can perform this job. And then we have to terminate again. We have to do this. Modifiers you have to do this. Now we will add this only voter. So we have added this constraint that only voter can call this function. Voting is done, add candidate is done, we have given rights. Okay, everything is done. Now we have to declare the winner. Okay, so first we have to identify the winner. So we'll create a string type variable, string winner. Okay, initially it will be string public, so we make it public. Initially it will be empty. It will be having null inside it. Now we have to identify the winner. So function identify winner. So when we are creating a smart contract like this that I'm doing right now, there can be in between we can check by compiling this contract that what we have not done. So we'll see this. We'll do this later on. Otherwise, there can be a problem of like if you are right now paying some attention to this thing, and we'll do compile this, then we will see the errors. Then there will be some destruction. Like you'll not be able to find that what I'm telling you. So we'll take this thing at the last of this contract. Okay. So function identify winner, and who will identify the winner? Only moderator can do this. So only moderator is added. This condition is added. Okay. Now we will define that winner votes. How many winner votes are there? You can and winner vote count. Okay, I am defining this variable. So there will be one winner, and he will be having some vote count. So even winner votes, how much votes he have got. So initially we are defining it as 0 because we are going to find it later on. So we are initializing this winner name, winner index will be there. So winner index, initially it will be 0. Now we'll run a loop that will be accessing the values inside this candidate array, and inside this candidate array, since there are candidates, so they will be having some name and vote count, and we will find that which candidate has highest vote count. Okay, so for that we will be running a loop. So for uint I equal to 0, just like C++. Okay, I is less than. Since candidates is an array, we can directly take length variable. We have not defined it earlier because this is intrinsic. Like it is just like in Java. Okay, some of you have asked the questions. Storage. Okay, so storage is something. There are two types of keywords: storage and memory. So storage is permanent. Like when we are going for a function call, so a variable is created, and when the function has been called and the memory is released. So if you want that that particular variable should retain, so we have to use the storage as uh, storage should be taken, and otherwise memory keyword can be taken when we are using function calls. So inside this, like whenever we have taken a string, so we have to make it as memory, because with memory we have to store something inside the memory, and with storage it should persist, like after function has been called it should persist. I'll tell you. And can you show full screen? So uh, yeah, it is full screen, I think. Let me see. Yeah, so yeah, okay. Now we will loop on this array and then we will try to find out. So I less than candidates dot length, and then I plus plus. Okay, so we'll do this thing. I plus plus. Now we will define. We'll take an if condition. So what we have to do? Suppose a loop right now loop will start from 0. So suppose this candidate which is inside, there are suppose 3 candidates. So there will be an array of candidates. So candidates array is there. Okay, that array has some person A. Okay, at the first position, B second position, C at third position. Okay, and every person has some index value. So this is the 0 index value, this is 1 index value, and this. Every candidate has some vote count. So we need vote count for that. So for every candidate, because I will be looping from 0, 1 and then 2. Okay, suppose there are 3 candidates. So I will loop from 0 to 2. If there are 5 candidates, then I will loop from 0 to 4. So if candidates I dot vote count, candidate I's vote count is greater than winner votes. So initially winner votes are 0. So suppose first person is having more votes than winner votes, then the first person will be temporarily considered as winner. Then our loop will move further. I will move further and I will be here. Then I will have value 1. Then if this person has more number of votes than this person, then this person, this B will be the temporary winner. And suppose B is having more number of votes as compared to A, and C is having less number of votes than B is the winner. So likewise, it will do this thing. So inside the if, suppose this condition is true, then we'll come inside the if condition, and then we'll update. So winner votes equal to, because candidate is inside the candidates array, so candidates I dot vote count. We have to vote count. Okay, so we have got the winning votes, and we have to find the index also. We'll take it. We'll make use of it later. So winner index is where the winner is present inside this array. So winner index, which is earlier 0, is updated. Okay, so winner index is I. Got this thing? Now we'll add winner. We'll when this loop is completed, so the winner is identified. How he is identified? That there is some index of that winner. So winner, we have taken winner as a string. So we'll store inside this winner the name of that winner. Winner equal to candidates index. So index is winner index. So candidates array, candidates is an array, and in that array we can access that value, those values in that array using index. So winner index dot name. Again, how much vote count he has got? So winner vote count, winner vote count equals to candidate winner in dot vote count. Now we have initialized these two variables. So we should make it public, otherwise we will not be able to see them outside this contract. So let us see. So first thing that you should always remember. Let me see that if there is how do you make sure where count function called after voting is done? Exactly. So we have to add some flags. We can have some flag that should be set or reset. Like if voting is done, then a moderator will call this function, and then he will not call this function. Okay. So it depends on the moderator only. So we'll take the rights of all the people. So we have to. This is because this function, this contract we have made just for the introduction. We can have many conditions. I have not added many conditions in this contract that you can add by your own later on, and you can analyze this contract that if it is working fine or what else we can do. Okay. So. First thing is that whenever we are using Ashutosh, is this okay for you? Ashutosh, are you there? Okay. So what we will do here, we'll see that wherever we have taken a string inside the function argument. So suppose we'll start from here. So we have taken add candidate function string cname. So wherever we have taken a string, we have to type memory for that. Take some space. Now so function identify winner is there, uint is there. Okay. Now we'll go for compilation, and we'll see that where are the errors. Okay. Candidates.push. Okay. We have it should be colon. Sorry for that. So here, since name is the member of this structure, so we have to add colon in front of this 0 also. Okay. Let us compile again. There's some error. So this is that. Reference declaration is neither modifier nor base class. Let us see. So public only moderator. Only we forgot. Okay, then again we have to compile this thing. Now it is compiled. Okay. So you can see this code. I'm pasting this code And there are many things. I'll find and then if possible, I'll add this right now in this function. Like if there are 2 or 3 things that came to my mind, and we can add them. Okay. So first we will compile this contract. Then we'll go upon the deployment of this contract. So how you have to deploy this contract? Be careful with that. So this is the environment. So this JavaScript VM in London Berlin is actually the sandbox of the Remix only. So it is having a Remix environment, and injected Web3s with MetaMask. You will be going to learn about this in tomorrow. And Web3 provider is also being used when there is a local blockchain, or there is a blockchain network that is already running somewhere, and you have certain parameters with you, like you can have the port number as well as the IP address of that Web3 provider. So since we are using this Remix, and here line number 43. Yeah. So line number 43 is here. It says that since the winner is a candidate, you already know that winner is a candidate, and candidate is an array. So I want to know that at which position in this array winner is saved. Okay, so it is there inside array. So I have to identify the index of that winner. So 43 says that you have to identify the index of that winner. Got this thing? Can we save this program? Yes, it is automatically getting saved in your Remix environment. And should identifier should not identify winner return anything? Yes, it should not, because I have already taken 2 global variables inside this contract, public variables, winner and winner vote count. So I'm not returning anything from this function. One more thing is that whenever you are returning something in Solidity, then it should be a pure function, like view function. So it should be a view function. So this should be should be kept in your mind. So there are many things, and voter is not clear. Okay, I'll tell you. So first we will deploy this contract, then I'll tell you later. Okay. Yeah, chat box, I'll send this code. No problem. So we'll define this. We'll run this code. So first thing is that take JavaScript, any London, Berlin, whatever you want to take. So I have taken as London. Then there are many 10 addresses. So I'll take the first one as the deployer of this contract. So the contract is voting1.sol. I am deploying. So if I have deployed this contract, there is an object that came over here. So this is the contract right now. And I'm again telling you, I'm taking the first address. Now I am pressing deploy, so that a contract will be created over here. When you will press this thing, it will be expanded and you'll see. So in the orange color, these are the functions. Okay, and using these blue buttons are telling you about the state variables of that contract. Okay, so these functions need some gas, and these state variables are just reading. We are just reading the values, so it doesn't need any kind of transaction. So when we will call these functions, there will be some transaction, and when we'll use these things, there will be no transaction. So to see the transaction, I will see over here. So this contract has already been deployed. So if it is deployed, so we'll check moderator. So moderator is the person who has deployed this contract. We'll see the first contract is the first address is C4, and this is C4. Yes. So because we have taken this address and deployed using this address became the moderator. Now, first what we have to do, we have to add some candidates. Okay. So I am adding some candidates. So add candidate. So first is ITDMJ. So we have added candidate. Yes. So because this is the function add candidate, you can see over here there was a new transaction. Okay. Now in the candidates, this is the array. Since we have added only one candidate, the array is filled with a candidate starting from 0 only. So candidate 0, yes, triple IT DMJ and vote count is 0. Okay, if we will check 1, since there is no other person other than triple IT DMJ, there will be no string name and there will be no vote count. Okay, so there's some error. It is saying some error because candidate array is only filled till 0. So it is throwing error, and for candidate 0 it is not throwing any kind of error. Now we will be adding triple IT DMJ, then IITK. So add candidate, and this can only be done using the first account. Suppose I am taking the second account, who is not the moderator, and moderator, this account is not moderator and it is adding a candidate. So we'll go to the add candidate function and check that it should be moderator only. So suppose if the person who is not the moderator and who is adding the candidate, let's see what does this function works or there is some error. So it is throwing some error. Okay. So it is saying that only moderator can perform this task. What we have written inside this thing. Only moderator can perform this task. Here it is written. You can see. So again, what we have to do, we have to change the address to the moderator only, and then we'll add the candidate. Now, if the green sign is there is a green sign, then it is okay and there is no error. So there are candidates. Candidate 0 is IITDMJ, triple IITDMJ, and this IITK is the second candidate. So IITK, you can see candidate 1. Now we'll add another candidate. So there will be 3 candidates. So IITK, MNIT. I'm adding. Add candidate, again it should be moderator, yeah. So add candidate. It is done. So there are 3 candidates. 0, candidate 0 is triple IT DMJ, candidate 1 is ITK, candidate 2 is MNIT. Okay, now I am giving, suppose now the situation comes when voting starts. Okay, so this is the voter. Second person I have taken it as voter. First was the moderator, second one is the voter. Now suppose he wants to vote somebody. He wants to vote 0. 0 is triple IT DMJ. Let's see what happens. No, it doesn't happen because only voters can perform this job. It is written over here. Only voters can perform this job. It means that this person, the second account, has no right to vote. So we will take second person, this person, copy the address. You can see a pop-up, copied value to clipboard. Again, we'll come back to the moderator because only moderator has rights to give permission to a person for voting. Now we will paste that address. Now we are giving right to vote. Yes. So moderator, this moderator has given this account, second account, to right, has given right to vote. Now I'll take second account. Okay, and if it is selected, then right now second account is working, and who has been given right to vote. Now I can vote, right? Yes, you can vote. Now let's see that how much votes IIIT DMJ has got. So we'll see IIIT DMJ was 0, so candidate 0. Here you can see vote count is 1. So the vote count of IIIT DMJ has been incremented with 1. Okay. Again the same process. We'll take another account, copy, come back to the moderator, then give that account right to vote, Control V. So give right to vote, yes. So moderator has given right to vote. Now we'll come to that account, so third account, and then he votes for IITK. So he has voted for IITK. Now we'll see candidate 0 is IIIT DMJ, only 1 vote count. Then the second is IITK and it is having 1 vote count. Okay. Now I am adding one more voter. So this is the voter, the fourth one. So I'll copy this address. Now I'll come back to the owner, the moderator. Then I'll delete this thing, copy this thing, and give right to vote. Yes. Now I take the fourth one who has been given rights and he votes for IIIT DMJ only. So now check. Let us check that IIIT DMJ has 2 votes, IITK has only 1 vote, and MNIT has 0 votes. Now what we will do, we'll come back to this owner of this account, who is the moderator. Now we'll check winner. So because we have not called this function identify winner, let us see. No one is winner and there is no vote count. Now we have taken the moderator as an identify winner. So moderator has identified the winner. Now winner is IIIT DMJ with vote count 2. Can you see over here? So winner is IIIT DMJ and with vote count 2. So this, we just wanted to tell you about that, how to make a smart contract and what are the things that you can have in your mind to create a smart contract. So I think you must have understood that what we just wanted to explain in this session. Yeah, definitely I'm going to share this code right now and also in the Canvas right now in the chat. So everyone in the meeting, I'm going to share this code. So this is the code that I have shared, and this is Nishtha. So Nishtha, I'm not getting how to perform type conversion. Type conversion error comes whenever suppose you have taken uint and you are giving some string to that variable. So there is some problem with type conversion. So just check it out that whether the 2 variables are having same thing, same data type. Exactly. So why blockchain? Because nobody can change. Suppose you have full access to the. Suppose if we are not giving this solution using a blockchain network, so in that way, the functionality is given with some software which can be tempered. But with blockchain network, since you have seen in the morning session, Shukla sir have told us that the blocks in the blocks you cannot temper anything. Otherwise, the hash will be changed and all those hashes has to be changed and likewise. So this voting smart contract which we have made has something to do that is that is to do with the confidentiality, as well as we cannot temper anything. So the integrity is maintained with this blockchain. Yes, exactly. Can have two modifiers. I'll see. I'll let you know, because I haven't used two modifiers with the same function, but I'll let you know. It can be used.
I think my slides at the end have a case. So I have shared my slides. At the end, I have given a case where there are two modifiers. So this is
okay. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. So you all can see those slides.
I did not cover that in my class in some of those things, but I have shared these on Canvas. So whenever you release them, you can release those slides.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Whole function is not getting. Let me do this once again. I'll copy this.
Going to give, Samir, we are going to give the code, everything. I think so.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So they can check at their end.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just in case it is not pasting over there, don't worry.
Yes, ma'am. One more thing that we wanted to discuss with you all is for tomorrow. One more thing before coming for the lab session. One more thing that you all have to do is the installation of MetaMask, as well as Truffle and Ganache. So this slide I'll be going to share with you all by today's evening. So you have to follow these instructions. I have tried to make it very simple so that you'll be able to install it in your own system. So you have to install MetaMask. So MetaMask is something like here you can see this is the MetaMask. After installation of MetaMask, you'll be able to see this thing. Okay. So this is the MetaMask. Second thing is the Truffle suite that tomorrow that will be covered, and other thing is the Ganache. So these three things you have to install in your system before coming for the lab tomorrow, and we'll see that how the same smart contract that we have developed today can be we'll be using Truffle for that. And with that also, there are 10 accounts that will be given with 100 ethers each. So same kind of thing, but locally. You don't need remixed environment. I think I have covered all the things, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Samir. So well explained. I hope the participants must have enjoyed. Thank you so much, Samir. Well explained. I hope the participants have enjoyed and they have learned something. Just in case you have missed anything, don't worry about it, because we are going to share the material as well as the video lectures. It is live on the YouTube as well.
Recording stopped.
We will be sharing with you the YouTube link for your later reference, the video links as far as possible, because YouTube links will be available. So I don't think you need to have video links, which are more easier to use. Thank you, Neeraj Garji. You are saying that sessions have been going well. And so on behalf of the Academy, Samir, we thank you. And I know that you are here for all the 6 days. And Samir is one of the backbones in this blockchain technology course. apart from my colleague, Professor Amey Karkare from IIT Kanpur. We have other colleagues also, Professor Pilli, Dr. Satish, and Dr. Prabhat Kumar from NIT Patna. So I'm sure that today's day was good for all of you. I think so. For tomorrow, whatever installation Samir has asked you to do, if it is possible, that would be great. If you are not able to, don't worry. Samir is going to start tomorrow with those installations. But if you already have installations, that will pass the process. That's the idea. So tomorrow we'll be meeting at 9:30. Please come on time. Now relax, enjoy your evening and dinner with your family and friends. We're meeting tomorrow. Thank you so very much, all of you, for your active participation in the program. Thank you so much. Yeah, one more announcement I forgot to make is that in Canvas, still I can see that there are some invitations which are still pending. May I request all of you to please go through your mailbox from the registered email ID. There you will find that there is some invitation pending from Canvas. Please do accept those invitations. You will be having access to all the course material. The schedule is already posted on the on the first page of the Canvas form. Okay, thank you.